Let there be peace and love. Welcome to Satsang. If anything comes in you, you can tell. I have to wait for myself. Ah, you are there, you came back.
I just want to say I'm so happy and I'm very grateful to you.
That you came.
No, you came.
It's been so what? No, tell me. It's very nice. I'm very happy for you. Really. Now, why you are so happy?
Because I don't even have to wait for yourself.
Yourself is always there. There are not two different selves. The self, who you really are, is always here. To understand your happiness. Not to confuse yourself with something which comes and goes, because that creates trouble, confusion, unhappiness, happiness, unhappiness. Not to depend on that idea. I am such and such. Not to depend on this rising I, which is after all a thought that we took for real, because millions of people take it for real. So like sheep, we swallow what millions of people believe in. But in those millions of people, there is one wise man who says, wait a minute, wait an instant. You suffer. It's because you confuse yourself for I am such and such. You confuse yourself for what you can express. So, the real happiness is to drop confusions, to drop troubles, because they are illusory beliefs anyway. For those who take some substance to open their mind, which understand one takes if he feels his mind is too limited, and then he hears there is a way to expand and to be more real, that is the carrot, of course. I want to say why I found that also not necessary. Unless it makes you search, but that one trip is enough then. Then you search. But it will not, the contentment, the peace that in the end one searches will not be in repeating the swallowing substance, because then you depend. Somebody swallows. It was not, the trips were not before, so they will end, and you depend very much on something. And all our life anyway depends. It depends on getting a wonderful car, a wonderful wife, a wonderful job, a wonderful trip. So we depend, and why? Why we depend? It's because we believe we are I. I am born. I am a man. I'm a woman. I'm from this country. I got such a childhood. Because of this, then we think the relief is in the same direction. It will not be in the same direction. It will be the day you really hear. This can take the moment you hear, or it can take 10 years. The moment you really hear that, instead of going like the flow of the river towards a direction, go back like a salmon, go back to the source of the rising, of this flow, of this manifestation, of this life. Go back at the source. And there find out what remains when you don't even look at the source. But for that you have to do it. You see, you have to do it. Otherwise, it's mere theory. It will fall in the library of books like one of the thousands books proposing new philosophies. But if you do it, then that will be enough. You don't need to read other books and to open your mind to know what. This is the only thing to follow. If the demand is such, means if you have the demand to free yourself from illusion. Other demands, welcome to what the world offers. But that demand, you have to go to a wise man who tells you, don't fix yourself anywhere. Even to this scandalous question, are you born? You are sure? You are sure that is you? That it's who you are that is born? For the mind it will be totally scandalous. It will send you to mental hospital. Yes, this question is the arrow to go back from where this I, let alone I am born, from where this I comes from. But it depends very much on your demand, you see. As I had a master, I can speak about. The master doesn't take himself for a master, but the disciple take the guy as long as it needs him or her as a master. So the master is like a diamond. Himself is not. The projection of the disciple is, the master is like a diamond. And what does it mean? It means he will reflect, he may even fulfill the demand of the one who is there. I remember there was an electrician, a disciple, the electrician, and Master was reading the Gita. He was so happy. He finally understood in an electrician way what Krishna and Arjuna were telling. There was another one, an army man. Oh, what a strategy. If there was a war, I would apply it. So everybody understands the master according to its demand. And the master will always tell the same. But we color it by the mental demand. One demand will not be taken by a facet or translated through a facet. It is the one who wants to be free, because then that one only will hear, there was never a diamond. What can you color? There is nothing. You have a search. Who are you? So spend some time to know what I want. And then you will be fulfilled. But it doesn't mean that where you are fulfilled, it's the teaching of that master. Very interesting, isn't it? Extraordinary. Anyway, we are all concerned here anyway.
Can you repeat what you just said?
No.
When
You can see
when
the...
you are fulfilled. No, I wanted to... I heard it. When you are fulfilled, it's not what the master said.
Not necessarily what the master teaches in reality.
You realize something else.
What you want to realize. It's extraordinary to see that. But you see, there is a blessing to meet a master, is that on the way you may have the luck, if you are not too arrogant, to change your demand. Oh, I wanted that because I was deluded. I wanted so much to be peaceful and so much love. But maybe I am deluding myself, and then that one questions, and then like this, he can hear something else maybe, and he can want something else. You see? Very good. You wanted to ask?
This is exactly what I wanted to ask.
Okay. Very nice. Yes. So we all come with some idea when one meets the master. We all. But now it's your turn. You can also tell me something.
No, I was thinking on something yesterday. how come you can see where somebody's mind is from where the or where?
I have to ask my master. I don't know. Do I?
That's the whole difference, I think, between a teacher and
Master.
master.
It's true that a teacher has to maintain the structure of what he teaches. He has to know in advance what he teaches. And it cannot go from north or to south. He cannot say contradictory things. A master can say a lot of contradictions. That's why you need trust. Very clever. Very clever. You need trust. Yeah. Yes.
So actually, is it possible to say that everyone inside has the desire, the seeker and the desire for freedom? It just has to be uncovered?
And he will translate it in many ways. Sure, yeah, you can say so. The human being is unsatisfied. You know why? Because, we can say many things, but in the end, it's because he separated himself from who he is. You see, that is the main thing. So, he will think to fulfill that gap. He may not feel it as separation, but to fulfill that unsatisfaction, he will take the ways he knows, generally. So, what do we know? The mind, the ways of the mind, and you know that I include emotions also in that. Will follow directions, the directions. Yeah.
Like being in satsang with the master, it's like what you said. If you're not arrogant,
Yeah, yeah. You
and
can
arrogant can go in many ways. This
absolutely, yeah.
then this uncovers itself.
Yes, yes, yes. If you don't want absolutely to be convinced by your own pride, then you are very lucky, because even the demand can go up to the real demand. Because slowly, slowly you understand, but how can I think that grasping this will give me happiness? Like that, yes. Very good. In fact, you cannot know in advance what means liberation. So the pride will love to put names, you see, to label. Oh, it must be that one is detached from the world. Oh, it must, and then he's happy, of course. Nothing touches him. Or it must be unconditional love. Or it must be bliss, all the time bliss. And so the mind will form images, but it will fall by itself if one doesn't absolutely want to keep the concept, which when it is disclosed, it looks very childish to want absolutely to keep, but in fact it's what one does. It's not so easy for the arrogance to lose the preconception of freedom. Even I knew, you will not believe, someone who really wanted freedom, and when he heard that the behavior of a free being may not be as you think, he will not be necessarily a saint, then he said, then I don't want this kind of freedom. I don't want. He preferred to maintain the idea of sainthood. So it's all about arrogance.
For me, there is still rests of the idea from unconditional love.
Yes.
It's still somehow a concept that
Okay, it's very appealing, especially love. This is the main subject I never speak about. I understand, my dear, but you see, when you say unconditional love, you surely must have some image about it, some idea about it. So I didn't say also that it will not be there, but not at all as you think. It may not express itself like all the time embracing all the manifestation with equanimity. It may not express that way specially, you know.
But when I look at you, this is what I see many times.
But this I don't know. But I speak now of what we can conceive, you see. It's even better you drop even this dear, dear idea to be that itself. Because if you keep any idea, you will surely not be that itself. You know? It's the price to pay. Even if it is true, but you cannot keep it. So that it happens.
When you say you cannot keep it.
No, you can, but if you want to free yourself...
No, I know.
Yeah.
It was just to make the bridge to the question from the previous, because it's still the same subject, because you have asked, what is your landing, what is your pillow?
Yeah.
That's where...
pillow.
You said that.
Really? To you, maybe? Okay, I hear you.
Yes. So, and I have been trying to find it, and along these lines, and I found it that indeed I have this idea that liberation, besides unconditional love and all those things,
Oh, it's quite a lot.
is to become one with everything and everyone. Because if you are not centered, focused, identified with the
You see
separate
what it
ego.
brings? You see, that oneness brings all those other concepts.
No, but you don't let me finish.
I hear. I just comment because I forget my own beautiful comments.
Because if there is not an identification with the separate ego anymore, then it is natural, normal that you identify with being everything. and
But
everyone.
where is everything then?
It is everything.
Where is everything? Everything is in your mind. This manifestation, if you want to know the truth, is your own self. So where do you see everything and the others to be one with? You see? It's wrong concept. It's logical with the mind. It is one.
Yes.
So don't keep any concept, just trust.
Because then there is another question.
Yeah, but you swallow quickly a big thing. Unless you keep it in your corner, you will
No, I
take
don't
it back.
put it in the corner,
Then
no.
swallow it well. I give you a sip, you swallow, and then you tell me the other. Oh my God, you're too quick. I could not be so quick. I tell you. So you swallow well.
It's very important because
Yeah,
it
it's
is-
very important. Like hen. Blue, 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 blue. And then you come back to your mind. Yes, I listen.
Then there is the question of dependence that you just spoke. I believe such a liberated person would not be a dependent person, dependent on anything called external. People, food, sex, traveling, anything that people depend on other
On the pillow, yeah.
anything that is external.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so that is my second landing. We are seeing the landings. You took
Yeah,
away
yeah.
the first pillow. I'm giving the second.
The mattress now. Yeah, so you have, may I say, it looks to me, but you tell me, that you have the concept that once you have known yourself, all this manifestation, all this behavior, the identity which is gone from a certain body-mind will be perfect as you think so.
Completely independent, free, completely free from any.
So a free behavior.
Yeah, completely free.
A
yes.
free behavior.
Oh, a free.
You mean that? That one will have a free behavior. What does it mean?
But without dependence.
And
All
the
free can be
behavior
dependent.
depends on what? A behavior
What
belongs
is the
to
nature
whom?
of desire? Doesn't desire come from the ego?
My dear, the one who realizes himself, he has seen that he is not this identity. I am the body-mind. Now he lives that identity, I am the body-mind, having his life. It is his life. But it lets as the fan you unplug, it still for a while moves, with all his good and bad habits. Why to transform what is illusory? Tell me. Why? If you want to transform and if you think it will be changed, it means it has some reality. It has absolutely no reality. So in fact, you cannot really see who is a free, it's difficult to see being, but what is freedom? Because the behavior, I'm not following Aurobindo philosophy, who believes you have to descend that perfect consciousness in the body-mind. I'm not of that lineage. I am of the lineage of Ramana and of So from Buddha, who says, so it's a kind of, it's a matter of choice, of corresponding to your concept. Who asked me, who am I? And if you get a realization, who is there to take care if the behavior is perfect or not? And what does it mean, perfection?
Because when Nisargadatta smokes, there is no dependence. When Nisargadatta continues
Oh dear,
to
you
smoke,
think
there
so?
wasn't-
You
was
think
there
so?
de-
He was
there a de-
dependent, his body was dependent, of course,
his
why
body
should...
was dependent.
Of course.
Only the body, not him.
He was not confusing himself for a
Exactly. With the
body-mind.
body, yes. That's what I was saying.
But then why do you want that a free being behaves in a free way? His behavior means only body-mind. So he may be dependent with something in his body-mind, but he knows he's not a
But you cannot
body-mind.
judge the being because of the behavior of the body.
Yeah?
Exactly, thank you.
Yeah.
Yes, I got the answer for
Yeah,
the two
good,
feelings.
good.
Perhaps the
But this is wonderful, there is no bad anymore. Yeah. But it's important questions because it's true, it is very much in the beliefs, you see, very much, of course. Because logically it should be so in the mind, but it's not.
Thank you.
You want a toffee? No, it doesn't mean that I encourage any defect or quality, you know. Okay, I just want to add that.
And that explains why some masters remain celibate and practice chastity while others sleep with all their disciples. Because it's that freedom.
You read my mind, but I shut up. But since you expressed it, of course, since whatever is expressed can become owning a concept, those who are dishonest and because of some ambition, they want to be taken for realized person, they will do whatever they like, shouting every satsang, never judge your master from the behavior. It can be an extraordinary excuse.
I wasn't talking about that.
Yes.
I'm talking about real masters
Oh.
who nevertheless.
Krishna in the history, tell me whose master sleeps with all his disciples.
Krishna?
In the history, Krishna had all the gopis of the village,
gopis, yes.
plus his wife. So tell me, it doesn't exist, this kind of master sleeping with all his disciples. It doesn't exist. It does?
I've heard of a certain master, I don't want to say his name, but...
But maybe he's not realized.
Maybe.
Don't be naive to think that everybody is realized. Everybody is realized, that's sure.
No,
But
on
conscious
the
of his
contrary, I jump to
realization.
the opposite situation. I can
Oh,
deal
listen,
with an
I
idea, now
cannot
have the opposite
go
idea.
further. I cannot go further. Very good. If he's happy like this, it's good. Let him be happy. But I don't know
I
if the
understand
disciples
what
will not be
freedom is.
confused.
I understand that I cannot judge. Because
You have to get discrimination, my dear. I don't tell you to judge. You have to get discrimination for yourself. And that's all.
Ganga, I would like to tell you something about the experience I have of the unconditional love.
Oh,
You
yes,
remember?
please. I remember. But
Because when you tell me this is not, I was so angry, to leave this unconditional love because it was so strong. And it was not really... it was a really an experience from myself, not an experience from something else. Did you?
No. It was not an experience.
It was an experience, of course, but so strong.
Ah, yeah.
Even now, I honestly, I tell you, I have some regret, which is I realize it was not that,
Ah, really?
But still, there is some taste in myself, because this experience was so beautiful and so strong.
But I don't want to reject that too.
Yeah.
But you see, it's in order to realize who you are, it's very radically important not to confuse who you are even with that experience, because as you say, since it is an expression, and let's say even a more direct expression, if this is possible to say, because it is universal, it's the more personal. But then when it goes, what happens?
It's terrible.
You will fall into misery. Misery. So it must not be who you are. It comes from who you are, of course. But it cannot be who you are, otherwise it has to be there and you cannot even describe it.
Because I didn't put any idea of that, it's come like this,
But this experience is like this.
I mean, it was so... I don't have any idea until I had that experience of
Yeah.
this.
Yeah. Yeah. But you see, the mind is it's a captor. It catches. So we read the books, spiritual books especially, are full of this.
Yeah.
Unconditional love, it's expressed, you see. So don't you think that your mind has been impressed, it was printed in you, and it's, as a human being, I think everybody wants love
Of course.
as a human being.
Yeah.
So it's an archetype. It's something, the best, the most cherishable maybe. So I wish this springs out, of course, but if you cannot confuse yourself with any experience.
That I know.
Yeah.
But,
The regret.
yeah, yes,
Why? How
it's
come is
still,
it possible? You know that it deludes yourself if you think it is that. How come?
No, I don't think it. I just, I get that. I mean, I have nothing much more beautiful than that in my memory.
Yeah, as an experience.
Yeah. I have nothing which I can compare, you know,
Okay. Okay.
yeah. So maybe I can live with
But
that.
forget it.
You want me to the precious experience
Whatever is in the memory, be careful.
Of course, because the missing experience, yeah, I missed something. Yeah.
It was good what you read to me yesterday. You can tell? Yeah, tell, it's fun.
Leave the front door and the back door open. Let the thoughts
Come and
come and
go.
go, but don't serve them tea.
It's good, huh?
In Portugal, it's coffee.
Yeah. It's good.
What was the last sentence?
But don't serve them a cup of tea.
Maybe we can speak about this other thing I showed you from the Sarvadatta, that when he said that it is particularly with Europeans and Americans that when they have a glimpse, they get so charged with energy, then they go and marry, write books, open ashrams, anything but keep quiet.
Yeah.
And harness that inexhaustible power, learn to keep it under control.
What? Idleness?
No, harness or learn to keep under
I don't
control.
understand.
Harness is like on a horse when you. But to learn to keep, basically to keep, they don't keep quiet. So.
Yeah, it's not only in the West. So let's be universal. So I should mention, what is a glimpse? A few have got glimpses, I think. What is a glimpse? We say glimpse instead of an experience, for example, because it looks like one experiences is true nature. Oh, now I am myself. I have seen myself, I know myself. And of course, what does it mean? It means that probably the one who has this glimpse probably went to the source of I, where those feelings are there. Now, since the mind was not emptied enough or demystified enough, the minds come back very quickly, telling, oh, who you are is energy, love, light, whatnot. And they are at the source, but yet they make a step. They enter, they listen to the mind instead of keeping quiet before the mind speaks. There, the I who got those experiences would disappear. Because there is no cup of tea. Now, is so happy. I fulfill my search. So the energy of the source, it's even called Shakti, invades their being, and they cannot do otherwise than to embrace everybody, every tree, to have an energy to make ashrams and lands, sacred lands, and to write books and books, because the truth is pouring out. But then you see, with time, ashram is there, books are there, love of disciples everywhere. I'm a great being. I'm the enlightened one. I detain the truth, and then the mind owns so much that day by day, going to something. So, and that's why also Ramnath, many people, even not having a spiritual path and not having met a master had a glimpse out of the blue, as they say, and they do the same. They quickly look to books or come to satsang to confirm their experience. What I wanted to say, yeah, but because they have not come to satsang, they have not a solid background of discrimination and of demystification of the mind, their mind is full. So when they listen to the mind, it's full of concepts, you see. The one was a solid background because of self-inquiry, self-investigation, or living satsang. He will learn his lesson. Maybe not the first time, but at some point, when all those things happen, he will not listen. He will not go there. Don't enter your mind. Suddenly this will sound in his ear and he will not go there. That is the difference. So we will keep quiet. Keep quiet. You see, the mind, it doesn't get cold as a dead body can get cold in a few hours. The mind gets, when he is demystified, when he has been seen for an illusion, he's still a bit warm. Could be for a few months or few years. That's why one has to keep quiet.
How can I be quiet and also be in this outside of daily life, everything
Yeah.
outside?
You know, when I say to keep quiet, it's not in time. It's just an instant in time. You keep quiet. Don't go into your mind. Then do things according to your circumstances. And then when you have a moment, an awareness of what's going on, just know that you are in your mind, that the body does things. You see, all like that. It's a constant investigation. And when you don't need to remind yourself, oh, this is the mind, I should not go there, or I know it is that, so I do it, doesn't matter, I know. When it's not necessary, you also give yourself a moment of quietness, of not grasping anything.
That's why you're saying that to be vigilant.
Yes, if you want to free yourself, it is an engagement, a dedication in your life. Because the mind is constantly awake, building, creating. So if you want to be freed from the tyranny of the mind, investigation helps a lot.
That's why I feel
Helps
it's
a lot.
important
Yes.
to do the inquiry
Yes,
every time.
yes.
that
Whenever you are aware of, oh, I'm too lost or whatever, I feel lost. Know that it's a feeling only. Just keep quiet an instant. Do again whatever you have to do. You see, I don't mean at all to be like a rock or to sit as we are now. It can be too. I also include this. But I don't spend my day sitting quiet. The quietness I refer is more just be yourself, but you have to know what it means. So the indication is the investigation. Yeah? Yeah? You see more?
It's just sometimes I feel maybe I need to be in satsang all the time, or maybe it's good to be in the cave or something.
No, a satsang is better than a cave. I would not trust the cave. Of course, for some time it's good to come in satsang. It builds your solid background. Then you cannot be lost. Once you have a solid background, wherever you go, you are yourself. Even if you have to remind yourself sometimes, who cares? But you need this solid background, People before, in ancient times, when they found their master, they were for 12 years building a solid background with the master, who didn't even look at them for 12 years. But that doesn't matter, everybody has his ways. But at least the presence of the master reminded them to investigate. So it has to be the same now. Now we are in different times. It was 24 years now. And I do. Maybe not. Who cares? It becomes a passion, this investigation. When you trust, like this, I'll free myself, because actually I am myself now, but I veil it all the time. It becomes a passion.
It's just
So, happy you to have that passion.
but also some suffering coming.
Past,
Yes, sure.
the past. Who can escape suffering? Even a mosquito suffers. Every living being knows suffering. That's why consciously, when you have a brain capable of being conscious, you have the luck to search and to hear.
Are you still suffering?
It will not help you that I tell you what. If I say I don't suffer, you will put me, wow, she doesn't suffer and I still suffer, so she is higher than me. And if you say I suffer, then you will tell, oh, then what's your point? And you will know that whatever happens, happens to the body and mind, not to who you really are.
Yeah.
So that's the answer.
Thank you.
And that's very precious. It is worth to desire that.
Yesterday night, I couldn't grasp the thought of not sleeping.
You could.
I could
Okay.
for the. Now I understand the nature of grasping, ungrasping much more, and that also experiencing come and go.
Yeah.
Because I noticed that I still could, if certain sorts of experiences came,
Yeah.
that I just say, already in the beginning, no, I don't go there, but now it feels different. It just, I'm not so afraid. I don't act so
Good.
much from fear
Good.
about the mind.
Wonderful. Did you sleep, by the way?
Somehow
one discovers more what is the mind, in fact. Mm.
And it has an effect on all the other graspings, because I feel more.
But why you don't sleep then? Must be something which you grasp. Because you know, you can sleep only when you don't grasp anything. That's true. Otherwise, you can't sleep. And whatever you grasp is the past. Free yourself. Mm. Otherwise, you see, we are tyrannized, we are victim of the mind we trusted before. So, freeing yourself is, I'm not a victim. I know whatever appears, whatever is grasped, it is I and the mind. Let me be free. I'm not victim of anything. It's because I grasp. Who are you? Are you I? Because, okay, you grasp due to a long story of the past, let's say. You see? But who are you? Don't even grasp I then. Especially when it's the moment for sleep. Just have the last thought of, who am I? Try.
When I'm grasped that thought of not sleeping, immediately who am I arose, and then there was this deep rest.
Yeah, very good. Then it's better than sleep.
Maybe
You are more lucky than anybody else.
I woke up much more.
Ah, but you see, then rest. Who cares then? Yes, please. Ah. Comfortable?
when in any circumstances I don't give a name, then what is it?
I don't know. The mind knows only names and forms. What is it? Yourself, then. You don't give your name and form. How can you say it's anything then? But then you have to do that for everything. You don't only her, you don't give her a name and form, but to him you give a name and form. That would be funny, no? Yeah, with him. But it's better to plug the one who gives name, to unplug his name, to unplug, to bring this I who gives name and form to its background.
But it is not is.
Huh?
I think this is the background.
No, because then you will wander on this earth like somebody not giving name and form, and soon you have to go to the mental hospital.
Maybe that's what happened.
Huh? So let your I tell name and form, but who are you? Thank you very much.